Hey there, fellow hunters. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, Castle in the Void. Episode 11, Fangs take on Tusks for trade. So, Raiders, I'll give you the tour of the base in just a moment. And I'm going to make the decision to abandon Enswawel. I just don't need to keep it. So, the Royal Tour. This is the orbital platform that we bought. We have the throne room. It's very Spartan and needs improvement. We have the stock room, which doesn't even have shelves because I can't afford it. So it's just a bunch of stuff on the floor with some crafting tables. The research room, which is like an old sleeper lab. We got our vampire's bedroom and death rest chambers. The sort of like ideology room and sanctuary and rec and dining and kitchen and farm. And then bedrooms and then our prisoners, which we're hoping to recruit a lot of them. That's the long and short of it. And then Destroyer here was like slowly dying, but we just got him back to base. He is, of course, going to be like sold for honor. Basically given as a slave to the Empire. But not for a bit, so. We'll treat him well for a bit. All you did was explore an island to its fullest and completed a dungeon? That still sounds pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Come on, McKinney. All right. McKinney's at 0.9. McKinney's going to be joining real soon. The other worry is we're kind of low on food here. So I'll be sending... I don't even think it really matters. Maybe I'll send Felix back down as soon as he sleeps to this tile to do some hunting. Because Felix would be a pretty good hunter, our vampire. To do some hunting, to bring the meat back, and then to bring a bunch of granite blocks back. And apparently ambrosia. We're getting hella ambrosia here. Not that I've been picking it or anything. Just been leaving it there. But that windfall of chem fuel will help keep our shuttle fueled for a bit. That is really nice. So for the hemo image, or hemosage image desired, we need 140 or 137 more granite, at the very least, to make the hemosage image. Hitting the 400 requirement. You know what? Convert. Okay, you are going to be recruited. And you have resistance of 3, so it's going to happen really, really, really fast. Alright, Destroyer is starting to get out of the woods for his sleeping sickness. And then once Felix eats, I'll send Felix down to the surface on this shuttle and scoop up the remaining granite we need. And then just fill the rest with corpses and meat and leather. Is there a reason for not more grow beds? Well, up until a moment ago, I didn't even have the components for it. I had 0 excess components. And then only 500 extra steel. So, that, I guess, would be the reason. I can't afford it. Alright. Granite blocks, we'll do 173. Is that the math correct? Let me double check. Oh, no. 157. I might load in more than that. I'm actually going to do a full run of granite because we can make other art for throne room reasons. Right? Because our throne room lacks an extreme amount of art. So we might as well just... Because we have the chem fuel now. So this will be a simple, just... granite block run. Oh, yeah, I forgot that I don't have weight for myself. So, There we go. Okay, completely full shuttle. Launch. And Scorp is going to make the art. He's a terrible artist, but it's better than not having any art. And now that we can relaunch, I'm just going to refuel and get right back down there for hunting. Nope, don't do that. Alright, what? Let's go for bison? Because if they fight back, like, whatever. It's a vampire. They're not going to win. I've got Hemogen. I've got Psycasting. I've also got an assault rifle. We're good. And because we rely on imported meat, I'm just going to try to bring in a ridiculous amount. So what I'm going to do is not butcher them until they're all about to decay so that I have maximum meat spoil time. Just trying to get as many bodies loaded up. Well, that was easy. 3 bison. Alright, what else? There are elephants. Let's go for elephants. Or whatever else is closest. More bison, I guess? Or muffalo? Bison? I'll go for this pack of bison. So I'm going to reserve all the butchering until just before we leave. I'm not really sure how many corpses that is total. But I'm gonna go for a lot. What's the better fur? It doesn't really matter. Finally! Trade for home! Oh, it's the first trade opportunity. It is ridiculous how long that's been. Wait! No! It's for this map tile! Why? You piece of poop. I don't even have an orbital trade beacon, so whatever, I'm ignoring that. So if you're wondering, bison give you plain leather, elephants give you elephant leather. Elephant leather is technically better, but it would be really hard for... Well, it wouldn't be hard, but it would be a little sketchy for Felix to piss off 4 elephants. They're a little bit more dangerous than, like, a bunch of bison. So it's not that I want to piss off all the bison, but if the bison did get pissed, I would just, like, long jump over to my shuttle pod, and I'd be fine. Granted, the tusks, the elephant tusks, are worth a fair bit. Meh, maybe it's worth it. Before we do that, you gonna have that bed. And then let's shrink this zone. I'm just gonna do what? I'll just be lazy and do that. Yeah, maybe I'll try for the elephants. One of the advantages of being a vamp is, like, working in nighttime with dark vision isn't much of a disadvantage. In fact, it's an advantage, if anything. One thing I could do is long-range spear the elephant. Alright, the full pack got pissed. That's kind of what I was worried about. But I missed. It's really hard to lead with the spear. There we go, I got them. So how fast are these guys moving? 408, 427, 312, 437. So warning them so they're all, like, pretty slow is probably in my best interest. The other thing I could try to do is a spew. But they don't seem to want to be vomiting. So I might just try to bleed them. Stack bleeds, and then get in my pod, or get in my building and just, like, turtle. Because I'm low on hemogen. Although... they're not moving very fast. It seems like I'm taking them down. I don't think I'm going to need long jump legs, because their movement speed is pretty crap now. I'm able to kite. Haha! Oh, you're still a speedy one, aren't you? Alright. I, like, stabbed him or something. So I only have one more long jump leg left in me for the hemogen I have. Because I'm already pretty hemogen low. I didn't bring any with me. Mostly because we don't have a lot stored up top. You know, I don't have a lot of blood prisoners. But yeah, these elephants are going down. Well, we're gonna go from no meat to buckets of meat. To a pallet of elephant. A pelephant. And if you guys could die, like, close to my base, that'd be awesome. So let's lead you that way. In fact, look at this level of disrespect. I'm gonna go haul your friend over to my butchery stockpile. You're welcome to follow. Oh, whoops, you're all unconscious. Oh, my bad. I think they all fell over at the same time. Like, that was a ultimate nothing personal kid, and then they all just collapsed. Fantastic. 100% love that. Alright, it's butcher time. Good God. It's gonna be one of these situations where I'm gonna park up here, I'm gonna open the door, and it's just gonna be like, meat! And everyone in the colony is gonna be like, yo, what the hell? And I'll have no other explanation than, I was bored. I done some stabbies. And the big Tusky Wuskies died. Oh my God. No regrets. Alright, Felix, unfortunately for you, now you have to bring it all home. I know he's low hemogen, working on it. Cool. I missed 13 steel, no big deal. Oh boy. Alright guys. Have at it. Buy a low meat. I mean, it's in a vacuum, so it's not gonna decay all that fast, so I have like 10 days to move it, rather than like 2 days of it rotting or whatever. But yeah, we're obviously gonna want to like move that stuff into the stockpile. What dropped? Oh, good question. Carnivore meals. Oh well, it's too late. It's gone. Could have used that though. That'd be nice. Not gonna lie. So I'm gonna continue. What? Why are you? Oh yeah. That's my fault. I'm going to leave leaving the map tile tasks alone for a minute so that I can, like, get more of this prisoner stuff done. Because we just have... I've been going on too many excursions and, like, not tending to the stuff we need to do at home. So I'm going to focus on the home stuff for a bit. And then Felix, I think it's a great time to work drive Scorp as he's working on a bajillion art project here. So yeah, speed that up. Ruin Loth, cook. And don't haul. Yeah, I think at every turn, the colonists are probably just, like, gobsmacked every time Felix does something. Like, the last time he left in a shuttle, he murdered 2 outposts by himself and then came home with 800 chem fuel. And they were probably, what the hell? Where'd you get all that? What were you doing? And he was like, well, people died. I destroyed an insect nest. I now have a half a year's supply of chem fuel. And they're like, okay, let's not question it. And this time he left, he came back, and he opens the door of the shuttle, and the entire landing pad spills out of just like piles of dead animal. And he was like, well, I was bored. You know, just all in a day's work. Problem is, I don't have a lot of hemogen left. I have no hemogen bags. We really need more blood bags. You know what? You. Extract hemogen bag. I mean, you know, you're already like, whatever. You're already bedridden. You might as well be bedridden for other reasons, too. The quest, someone joining? Right. So we have 1 day left. This is, host 5 prisoners for 9 days. You know, that all of my food would be gone. All of my food excess would be gone. Let's take a look at you. Annoying voice, chemical interest? Yet, I'm not interested. And then we did time out the Becker's Rescue. But, I don't really like wasters as colonists because they're aggressive and ugly. And that is a horrible combination for social fighting. Because they're just going to piss everyone off and everyone will hate them. It's really unfortunate. I really kind of wish that there was an easy counter other than just like aesthetic shapers and noses to deal with that situation, or to like force implant dead calm or kind personalities. I don't know. It's one of the biggest issues with wasters, and the same is true of impids too, because impids have similar behavioral issues, I would say. Please chat with McKinney, because this is about to be a recruit. I'm actually gonna preemptively fire up the timer. She's about to join. There it is. And now, force implantation, McKinney. Done. I probably should have stripped him of his gear first. Oh well, too late. So McKinney is a Sanguophage. We had voted on this, of course. She's a Sanguophage who's going to be in a coma for a little bit. She is a night owl tough jogger. So, put her on a night owl schedule. She is of our ideology. She's going to need a leg. I'm going to put her in here for now. And yeah, good luck in the raffles. Is there a different face you can use? You're like, huh? Face is kind of silly. Let's go with Night Owl. You look super Night Owl-y. So our oldest colonist and our youngest colonist are both vampires. Ah, yes, the circle of life. Felix. Let's force wear recon armor on her. Because she's sleeping in a room that is like just a thin steel wall between her and the great void of vacuum of space, I'm gonna dress her in you shall not die via breach gear, because that would be a dumb way to lose a vampire. Well, no, they wouldn't die. They would just get super coma due to the lack of oxygen, but still, not a good way to lose them. Alright, so now she's in vac armor. Good. That's funny. Skizzer's deathless gene prevented him from dying. False. He's definitely dead. I disagree. I see your analysis, and I deem it wrong. That's funny. Can't smelt the armor? I could, yeah. I'll strip him. So in terms of prisoners, we have Trebo, who is eventually going to be recruited once converted, which is taking a freaking long time. And then Dyer, who is just a blood bag. I'll be able to do a conversion ritual in about 9 hours, which might be worth it once McKinney is got leg and is up. So speaking of McKinney, because this is just like a peg leg, I don't really care if it goes real wrong. She's a vampire, so the chance of her like dying from a simple surgery is like basically 0, because deathless. So let's just stick a peg leg in there for now, because we don't even have prosthesis tech yet. I was getting multi-analyzer, so that she can hobble around. She is a jogger, so even with one peg leg, she has long jump legs, so she should be able to move pretty quick. Oh, okay. Well, or that. Felix! Don't torture the young lass. Just put a leg in her. I know you're... doing in the dark doesn't affect you. You have night vision, so you just messed her up for funsies. What is your surgery chance? 90? Okay. It isn't perfect, to be fair. So I'd like a 10% chance of that happening or whatever. Yeah, you did it! Woohoo! It's funny to have an immunoenhancer, now that I think about it, in the right kidney, given that she's now a Sanguophage who cannot get sick. Right? Perfect immunity. So maybe remove the immunoenhancer as well, because it's like not doing anything for her anymore. And she's not a body modder, so it's not like she wants it in for no other good reason. Yeah, there we go. Immunoenhancer. Cool. And good luck at the raffle. Hopefully she's decent. And pays off for whatever, we'll see. Alright. On this map tile, there's like stuff left to grab here, I guess. And then of course this is our comms console zone. I wouldn't mind coming down here with Scorp at some point. And scooping up the uranium. I think there was uranium here. Yes. Getting the uranium that's here to turn it into turrets to protect this zone. Because it's so poor, we're not going to be raided by anything significant. So like just a few turrets overlapping one another should be enough to keep that area protected. And then slap a battery there to make sure that even when the wind sucks, the turrets spin. And that should be enough to keep this zone up and running. A Slotus, congrats. And the interesting thing here is I didn't even use my own my implant gene cooldown for Felix. So we have a vampire that is fundamentally unrelated to Felix. That would be an interesting mod, is like vampire family, where like you have some sort of relation. I don't really know what it would be, but you have some sort of relation to people that you turn. Marauder encampment. Ooh, another one. Well, I'm going to accept it for goodwill. Or honor. Actually, both could work. Let's have you guys choose. So goodwill would allow me to call in tribute caravans, which would add honor later on. And then honor is helpful right now. In terms of how much honor I have, I'm knight at 3. And that does not get me praetor. Gets me 8/10 of praetor, I think. Another thing that is potentially something we could do would be to just gift, because gold is pretty easy to find on caravan. Just run and gift stuff to them. Just dump a whole bunch of money on them. There we go. Hemosage image. Sweet. Then the last thing we need here is the pews. Pew, 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 pew. Sorry. We'll start with 2. And this will allow us to do conversion rituals with, like, out the super level of failure that we are used to. Yo, can you guys just put the image down? You're like pissing and moaning about not having it, but it's right there. There we go. So it's extremely impressive sanctuary now. That's awesome. And then Scorp will start building the pews. And it looks like goodwill is going to be the choice. Copy that. So 4 Edekin at a bandit camp. I think you know how I'm going to handle this. I would like to acquire a little bit more blood before I go, though. So I'm going to, like, take some from Destroyer once he's semi-conscious. You're right, Krieg. I do kind of have different bloodlines in the Ancient Stream because they're like vampire plus extra. So, I suppose that's true. Once the Slotus is able to walk around, we'll try to do a conversion ritual for Trebo. To move the needle more than just like 4% at a time. This is an extremely impressive sanctuary. It's over the 120 mark of the minimum requirement for beauty. And should be a big boon. Trebo, are you upset by anything? No artificial enhancement, but that's not because you're a body modder. So that's not going to be a requirement once you convert. So I'm not going to bother with that. One thing we might want to do is death rest facility for Islotus. Casket. To just spend it now, because we know it's obviously going to be a costly upkeep later on. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move her to this room, which is more walled in and more protected. Because like losing an accelerator and a casket kind of bites. So I don't want it to lose that. And this is all fortified walls, which are way harder to breach than the steel walls. And that's really expensive. I know I just basically used up all my components and most of my steel, but, you know, she's a Sanguophage, and building caskets for Sanguophages is kind of what we do. It's not a vampire called up in space if they don't have a place to rest. Wouldn't that be crazy? That would be an interesting sci-fi lore of, like, vampires that, like, go into hibernation in space so they can't be messed with by like terrestrial vampire hunters, and they can just like go into a long coma and then wreak havoc, call most of humanity, and go back up. I guess that's a bit like Stargate Atlantis with the Wraith. Now I think about it. Shelter for a Baron. Here's another goodwill Should we host the Baron? For honor or goodwill? So, I don't have a bedroom that meets requirements, but that wouldn't be too hard to build. So if you're wondering what a Baron asks for, they want a 70 impressive bedroom, all floored, royal bed, which is the caveat, but we do have the gold, end table dresser, no work facilities. So I would just be making a royal bed. Not a big deal. And then for food, I think fine meals is fine. No, maybe not. They want lavish? Well, we could make do with lavish. It would be annoying, but potentially possible. So Slotus, you're on your feet in 5 hours, and then, or foot, I guess one of it is a peg. And then we are going to have a little opportunity to try to convert Trebo, and to give Trebo a name. Oh god, that's like barely moving the needle. Why? What is your deal? I wonder... Kind-ish... Oh, it's too smart. I was gonna say, kind should be helping me, but the too smart makes it so he's like a know-it-all. Like, oh, I know better. I'm not gonna convert to you. Alright, you say don't host the Baron. It is a while, to be fair. But okay. As you wish. Alright, it slows us up. How fast do you move? Oh yeah, you're almost at normal speed, despite one peg leg. So, conversion ritual for... Trebo. Participant count kind of sucks, but it's like... more likely to be effective than ineffective, which is the point. So let's see if we can move the needle a little bit more than the 4% per attempt. Maybe it's masterful and it's instant. Who knows? We might get lucky. And this is the first time that we're all together. It doesn't happen very often. Do it. Do it. Yes! Ha 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 ha! We are ready to recruit you. Instant, 100%. That's what I'm talking about. I went to all that trouble cutting all that damn stone, making the pews and all that stuff. And yep, it worked. So I had 3 really terrible bestowing ceremonies. Not terrible, but, you know, unimpressive. And now it pays off. Where Mr. Trebo here is just like, yeah, I'll join. Booyah. Awful bedroom. Oh, yeah, that's not really good floors. I stripped up all the floors. Turtle and Runeloth. I'm going to do something interesting here. We are also going to load up a few meals. I know that Runeloth is their cook, so I'm going to have to, like, resort to someone that is absolutely piss poor, terrible at cooking to cook. I know. Don't worry. But what I'm doing, I'm sending them down to go like bajillion trees to cut down as much trees for wood as possible, really, really quick. So launch. Go to the jungle. Settle. I could have actually camped. I didn't need to settle. The reason to settle is if you're looking for like metals and whatnot. Camping is fine for trees, because there's going to be trees in the jungle no matter what. All right. Let's load the shuttle for the food. It doesn't decay. Or get eaten by turkeys or whatever they are. peahens. Grow zone. Don't allow sowing. And then shrink the grow zone here. We can put wood. Actually, anything. I don't even care what goes there. Wood or whatever. Berries, whatever. Alright, you two. Congratulations. This is like a work detail. Just chippity chop, 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 chop. And then we'll get it all loaded and hauled. And, you both are sleepy, so that kind of low-key sucks. You'll do a one night here, I guess. Felix, you're idle? Get meditating. Yeah, I wasn't going to the outpost. The problem with the outpost is the food is nowhere near the trees. And then because it's part grasslands, fires are never stopped. It's one of the errors of one of the issues with grassland tiles is like fires never, they rage and rage and rage, and it's really, really, really annoying. So, I generally don't like to tree cut in those zones, in that outpost zone for those reasons, because it's just obnoxious. So I was just gonna blitz trees here really, really quickly, where we just get like a few thousand wood, stick it in the shuttle, and go back home and abandon this tile. The only reason to keep this tile a little bit longer is if there's an ancient danger here, which, no, that's not one. There is none. It's a dangerous zone. There is silver and components, but we don't have any miners here, because I don't think Turtle mines. No, Turtle doesn't mine. Resistance 1! Trebo's gonna join soon. Why aren't you meditating? Oh, I have a point to spend. Go meditate, Felix. I'm staring. You've got a meditation spot over there. Just go use it. Whatever. He's supposed to be sleeping, and that's why. Because he's scheduled for sleep. He'll start meditating soon. Two more meals coming up. And Trebo is on his way to join. Cool. Now, another thing we could potentially do, now that we have two Sanguophages, is have Felix like cast Blood Rain, and then them with long range weapons just like murder whomever we're attacking. It's possible to clear settlements. I don't necessarily need to clear settlements, but hopefully we have the opportunity to take prisoners soon. Oh, well, okay. Not what I was hoping for. But they're outgunned. They're outmatched badly. Dankman. And Squidwub. Well, maybe one of them becomes a blood bag. Come on, accuracy. So we got shooting 11, shooting 7. Granted, the 11 has trigger happy. Bit of a disadvantage there. Oh, now it's 12. Pyromaniac. Definitely an enemy of vampires. And another Pyromaniac. Okay, yeah, I have no qualms about viciously imprisoning Pyromaniacs. As a Sanguophage. They're just as bad as Impids, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, you are definitely bleeding out. I am going to disengage and let you just sanguinate and faint. I'm just going to start loading up the shuttle, because why not? I ain't scared of you. Yep, shuttle's loaded. How insulting it is for them. He's like trying to kill us and we're just like, oh, you're dead. And we start like packing up our car. Like in the middle of the fight. It's like, yeah, it's fine. What was he gonna do? Pop more rounds off with his little pea shooter? While we're in like full recon armor? Yeah, oh no. Oh, whatever. If you touch my bed though, oh, you're gonna set the bed on fire, aren't you? Okay, I'm over here. Keep following. So, Bloodlust Minor is going to take a minute for it to stack up to severe for collapse. Unless he drops from pain first. Maybe? Pain severe. I don't know. His consciousness is still at 64. Little ways to go. I think this gives Turtle an opportunity to try some medical attention, though. Because, Ruinloth has pretty good med skills, but I would like Turtle to get some. You're chasing the wrong person! Oh, yep, okay, you knew it. Why would you put the body there? Ew. Ew, guys. I mean, come on, Dinky. Come on, Dinky. A lot of bullet wounds for you to still be standing. I'm gonna say I'm impressed. Yeah, down you go. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Castle in the Void, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a miniseries marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. I am not, however, looking for feedback because this streamed once only as a marathon and it cannot be incorporated. If you would like to join my online community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it. If you'd like to join my Patreon page, you can also find a link to that in the description as well. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, especially those that suggested this specific scenario, which would be Ruinloth, Felix, and Scorp, and also viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you on next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Sanguophage worshippers.